Yo, guys, welcome back to the channel. If you guys don't know who I am, my name is Jaco. Well, my real name is Joaquin, but I go by Jaco. And I've been able to document my entire journey in Shopify dropshipping with e-commerce since 3 months ago. And you guys can see my entire progress from scratch, from zero, just to prove to you guys that it is absolutely possible. I'm not one of those guys that, from the start, from the beginning, made a video talking about my wins. No, I clearly, since the start, I show literally all of the failures, all of the problems that I had. I really don't think that a lot of people are doing that. There's some that did it with like organic dropshipping, but there's not many that, started from zero when it comes to meta ad, ecom, dropshipping. And so today I kind of wanted to explain to you guys a little bit of my success story and a little bit of how you guys can apply this to yourself so that you guys can skip all the bullshit and just go straight into actually testing things that start to convert and have a higher chance of actually winning in this competitive space. So here's a store that generated me about $122,000 from one ad account. There's a whole different ad account, and I'll get to that one in a little bit, but I'm just going to talk about this one real quick. So this one from June 1st to August 12th generated about $122,000. Had pretty good CPCs, it had pretty good metrics, and the ad itself was going viral within itself, meaning people were sharing it to each other and whatnot. So, the metrics were pretty good here. And I'm just trying to show you guys a little bit of proof of concept here that I am actually actively doing this shit and that it actually worked. And so here, if you guys go into, this is another ad account, and this actually converted a lot higher. And this ad account, it is for the same product, but it was spread across multiple ad accounts. But you guys can see here that I spent $33,000 and I got back $92,000. So that's on average like a 3 ROAS. Let me check real quick. Yeah, 2.75. It was a pretty profitable ad campaign. And I'm not currently running it anymore, just from other issues that happened, complications, but that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is to explain to you guys how I succeeded and how you guys can succeed too. And it's not as complicated as people make it out to seem. Like, there's so many big words, there's so many big terms that people don't understand, and this looks like a very scary thing, but in reality, it's really just a classification of metrics. It's not anything complicated. Really, once you actually start learning about the meta ad dashboard and how to run ads, it's not a complicated process at all. Really, the most complicated process of the entire Shopify dropshipping game here is finding the right creative paired with the right audience and making sure that it's in a correct and proper market. That is realistically the hardest part of all this. Not looking at the metrics, not knowing when to turn off certain things, not knowing when to scale. The hardest thing is finding the creative. That is 100% going to be the most difficult part of this entire journey. Everything else, when you start generating a bunch of sales and your supplier starts talking to you about certain things and you got to pay all these bills and then all the logistics of it, the customers and shit like that, that is very stressful. I agree. But the most difficult part is at the creative level and finding the creatives. Here's another proof of concept here. Running a test for some products, and already the CPCs are pretty low. The cost per thousand is relatively good. I mean, these right here are kind of weird, but and a lot of people struggle to get even just a CPC that low. Like, guys, it really is at the creative level. It really is at finding the products. That is the most difficult part. And by the way, guys, this is just an ABO test. Turned off the ones that weren't working, continuing these are running at like $20 a day right now, just testing some things. There's a new campaign going on. There's a new CBO campaign that I'm doing for this product, trying to scale it. Already, like, I can tell when something has high potential, and I know that these ads right here, I know that this product has high potential, and it's really not that difficult to actually find things that convert, at least with the tests, and it really comes down to the angles. Again, it comes down to the ads. But enough of that. So quickly here, I'm going to show you guys a little bit in detail, just a little bit of how I was able to succeed when it came to ecom dropshipping, and kind of a little bit of my story as well. So if you guys want to grab some popcorn or whatnot and watch a little bit of this so that you guys can apply this to your store, so that you guys can apply this to your mindset and print for your stores and make a shit ton of money. How I succeeded. So first of all, guys, the main thing that skyrocketed everything was one simple choice, and that choice was to move out of my hometown. So I lived in LA for a big chunk of my life. I would say about 5 years. And this was until about 1 year ago when I moved to Texas on a personal journey to discover how to genuinely make money online and actually make this a living. Find a way to have the whole scheme, have the whole Batman arc, and get rich, right? I'm not saying I'm there yet, but that is what I did. That was the first step that I did. And before LA, right? Before I was in LA, I actually lived in Utah. And in Utah, I actually met, oh, that guy does not look too happy. I met the person who is my roommate right now, and we are both testing shit on ecom, and we are both trying to make it big and have a huge influence on the world. This is my best friend right here. His name is Tacoma, fuck man. And I met him in 2nd grade. So ever since when I went to LA in California, we stopped talking for a little bit. We would talk every now and then, but then we decided to lock in somewhere around here and go to Texas together, and we became roommates, and we started doing ecom together. So just a little bit of backstory here. Before Utah, I actually lived in Argentina for about 3 years. So Argentina, my mom is Argentinian, my dad is American, but before Argentina, I actually lived in Japan, and that is where I was actually born. I was born in Nagoya, Japan. My first language was actually a combination of Japanese and Spanish. So I've traveled a lot, and I have seen quite a bit. I've also went to Europe, and I think that this come up really sparked up the idea that it is possible to make money while moving. It is possible to make money anywhere, and that is the fixation that I had for a very long time, that I needed to make money so that I can travel everywhere and be everywhere all at once. That was the first. So all this right here. Oh shit. So all this right here was some of the back end reasons for why I am the way that I am and why I needed to make it. So all of that caused me to move out of my hometown because I had been moving for so long and I was stuck in LA for the longest time, and I decided to make a change, move out of my parents' house, and go to Texas. In Texas, I worked as a server, making tips and generating about $2.25 an hour, or $2.16 an hour is the wage here. So $2.16 per hour. Oh shit, man. So $2.16 per hour is the wage, and then you make all the tips. So it comes out to be realistically like $19.20 an hour. There are some bad days, there's some good days. And while working the server job, I was trying to test a lot of products organically. So I was doing a lot of organic dropshipping because I came from a space of making content. I was really into filmmaking as a kid. I was really into music production as a kid. So I loved everything about content. I loved everything about making beats, making music, films, movies. So I believe that organic would be the way for me to make money. I'm really not putting down organic at all. It just wasn't. I just didn't have really necessarily the time to do organic because you do need to create like 3-4 variations of videos almost every single day so that you can split test, make money, and whatever. I couldn't do that because I was working 12 hours every single day. I was working 12 hours every single day, and I had no time to do organic. So after testing about, I would say like 15 products total and not committing to any of them, I decided to make a leap, save up a few grand, and try meta ad dropshipping. So that was literally 4 months ago. So that was about 4 months ago when I made that leap from organic to meta ad dropshipping. And 1 month into this journey was when I launched my first product. And it was a very, very, very bad product. It was a bad angle. I did not know what I was doing. They were not good ads. And I probably wasted about $300. It was actually $6 in ad spend, but me and my roommate were splitting the ad spend to test this product together. After that, he did a test and I did a test. His test alone for one of his products, it was a summer product, made about $12,000 in a week. So it made $12,000 in a week, and I was testing something else, and that did not work. So while he was making this money right here, mine did not work at all, and I was very, very, very motivated to beat him and make more money than him. So later on, his shit died out. He tested a bunch of other stuff, and here I tested another product, and that third product right there, with a lot of product research and understanding of the market, was the one that made quite a bit of money. So now I'm testing a bunch of other shit. Clearly, some of them are working, some of them are not. Obviously, that's the reason that we test. But that is pretty much my step-by-step how I was able to succeed. And you know, guys, throughout this entire process here, I could tell you guys a shit ton of technical information about exactly how to do it, about exactly all the logistical information, about all of the metrics. But realistically, guys, the most important thing that allowed all of this to happen was one singular thing, and that is mindset. Throughout this entire process, no matter how much I failed, no matter how much stressful I was with trying to pay rent, I still had the mindset and believed that I am living in the past of my future self. And what this means is that I'm not living in the present right now. I am actually the core memories of my future self, who is already rich, who is already making a lot of money, who is already successful in all aspects of life. And I am right now sitting at the table with my friends, making a lot of money, thinking back to this exact moment when I was trying to come up. And that was my whole mindset. And so by doing this, I was essentially bringing the future towards myself and not aiming to reach out for the future. So instead of trying to reach the future, I was actually trying to grab it and bring it towards myself, because I am in the past and I need to get to the future. I need to get to the present, right? I'm not living in the present, I'm living in the past. I know it's a very weird mindset, but that is exactly, but that is what got me there. And that is what is going to progressively get me to further things and grow even more. So with all this information here, guys, what can you guys do about it, right? So I told you guys a little bit about myself. I told you guys a little bit about me. So here's where you guys come in. So when it comes to mindset, that is the first thing that you guys should do. No matter what, you guys need to have your mindset right. If you guys work a 9 to 5, if you guys work a 12 to 12, if you guys work a 10 to 10, whatever. I was working pretty much from 9:45 till like 8 or 9 every single day. It was a 12-hour shift, sometimes 11 hours, 12 hours, whatever that is. But that was pretty much every single day. And while it was happening, all of my savings, I did not spend on anything stupid, maybe a couple things, but nothing too crazy. Everything was going back into research. Everything was going back into mentorships. Everything was going back into courses. Everything was going back into communities. And all of my money, literally everything that I made, if it wasn't for rent, if it wasn't to pay for groceries, I was spending on doing research. I was spending on spy tools. I was spending on literally anything that could get me to the next level when it came to my knowledge and my understanding of what e-commerce is as a whole. So what you guys can do with this information here, guys, is have the mindset first, and after that, you guys need to understand and prepare for Q4. If you guys apply all of the stuff now and prepare, then you guys can even make a lot more than I did in my third product. Because in Q4, people are no longer buying based off problem solving, right? People are buying because they want to buy gifts. And this is very, very, very crucial, very important, because when Q4 happens, and by the way, this starts in October 1st, that is the first day of Q4. When Q4 happens, people are buying things that they usually would not buy. Things that don't convert during Q4. Angles that don't work now work in Q4. Most of the dropshippers that I know personally changed their lives during Q4. Is it possible to change your life in the other quarters? Yes, of course. And if you're in this for the long run, it's going to make money all year round, right? If you're in an evergreen niche, if you're in an evergreen product, evergreen market. But Q4, I promise you, and I can guarantee you guys, that this is the year where you are going to make the most money. And I can promise you this because I'm going to do it. My friends are going to do it. Everyone's going to do it. When it comes to Q4, it doesn't even have to be just e-com, right? It doesn't have to be just ads. Really, Q4, you can apply it for organic. You can apply it for a little something, which, by the way, guys, is a little secret sauce that I only spill in the Discord. But you guys can apply it to Etsy dropshipping, which is back, and it's great, and it works. And all of my friends, a lot of them are generating a lot of money. And I made a video a couple months ago about how we made $65,000 total on Etsy, and now it's back. So quarter 4 applies to everything online business, and I promise you guys, if you guys apply all of this information, the mindset shift, you guys don't have to do all this. You guys really don't have to move out of your hometown, really, honestly. Just save up money, stay with your parents, and work on ecom, work on organic, but you guys have to pick something. What I picked was ecom, and I'm doing Etsy right now on the side, and I'm probably going to try organic for a little bit as well during quarter 4 because I really think that it's worth it. But really, guys, what you guys have to do is lock in on one idea and continue doing it to a point of isolation and desperation, and really change and shift the frequencies of your mind to elevate yourself and to believe in yourself in a way that no one else can, because you are the only person that is able to do this, and you are the only person capable of changing your life. No one else is going to change it for you. I'm not going to change it for you. Sure, I can give you guys a community, I can give you guys a mentorship, I can give you guys information, but at the end of the day, you guys have to apply and lock in to achieve all the things that you said you would do. And that is what I did, and that is what I'm still actively doing. I'm not saying that I've made it. I'm not saying that I have a Lamborghini. I'm not saying that I'm going out, on a high rise every single day. I am a regular person that makes money online, and you can too. That's it.